my name is Nicholas Montez, and you're watching my YouTube channel, Nicholas Montez. Welcome back to another YouTube channel, everybody. I'm so excited to have you all back here together again. And in today's video, we're going to be discussing the ranking of the third episodes of every Henry Danger season. Let's get started. So, I have not seen every single Henry Danger episode, I have, but this is probably the most forgettable episode of all of them because this episode is basically about everybody thinking that Henry's superpower is a sickness when you come to realize that it's just a superpower, and it's just not very entertaining. It's not very memorable. There's at least this one sequence where Jasper does the rock challenge to make Henry feel better, and he's like, "What? I want people to feel like I'm caring," which is a funny sequence. But besides that, this episode is not really memorable or great, for that matter. Now, this is kind of an episode that I think has some interesting stuff, but then it just kind of, just bores me. Well, not bores me, but there's just stuff in it that just kind of feels dull. On the one hand, it does kind of have that. Well, actually, to be honest with you, there's not really anything interesting in this episode, to be honest with you. This episode really just, I hate when movies do that, where the character literally just finds out the other character's secret, without knowing. We all know that the stuff that he does is obvious, because Kid Danger appears to the school and stuff. But, still, you gotta find another way out than that. But, I guess that's kind of interesting. But then when he gets fired, of course, that's kind of bringing something to it. As he's kind of been fired a lot in this show a little bit. And then this phone shark guy doesn't really make any sense of why there's a shark that wants phones. Probably the only good thing about this episode is that it actually adds Charlotte to Team Danger. But besides that, the episode is just kind of boring and kind of dull, and it doesn't really do anything interesting with anything that it's doing. So I think, besides the new addition with Charlotte, I think that it's a pretty dull episode. Now, this is an episode that I think kind of set up pretty good characters, because you actually got the guy that played Spencer in iCarly, and then you got this random dude that I don't even know, and they're playing these new superheroes in Swellview called the Thumb Buddies, which they're basically got their name from their sister that has a lisp and said, "You should not be a nobody, you should be a thumb buddy," which basically said somebody, she meant. So I thought their characters were kind of likable, but then they do a superhero mission with Captain Man and Kid Danger, and they basically get, not tricked by Captain Man and Kid Danger, but they get tricked by the villain, and they go into space for at least a couple weeks, and they come back with these weird powers, and they're out for revenge on Captain Man. And honestly, that's a reasonable excuse to have revenge on these superheroes. It's a perfect excuse. And the execution is just kind of bad in the way it happens. They literally trap Captain Man and Kid Danger in the rocket, and then all they do to defeat him is just the rocket blows fire on them, on the Thumb Buddies, and that's it. Nothing else happens. And then Captain Man and Kid Danger eat barbecue. That's not really the most interesting way to have a good character arc, but still take down the villain. It's kind of like Falcon vs. Soldier, where the villains were kind of hero, but then the villain at the sort of sense, but the heroes still fought, but they were still trying to understand them. This wasn't really the episodes, but I know Falcon vs. Soldier and Henry Danger are very two different shows, but that's what I felt like to it. But this was a good setup, but bad execution. Now, for me, this episode feels a little bit more relatable because it's basically because I think what this show does really well is it dives into actually teenagers' lives of school, where Charlotte had this project for this science fair project, and Schwaz is a stupid butt and wanted to try something with the screen machine and he broke it, and it's all his fault, and and basically have to build a new one, but then they lost the plans, and it's like, I don't even know why this episode's number 2, but I just think it's kind of, I think I like the relatableness of the episode. That's kind of why I put it a little bit higher. But then when you get to the end of it, they just have to destroy the machine, and then because I guess it's kind of smart in the way they do that last scene. I don't understand why Ray got out of the car at the end. It's just kind of weird, but overall, enjoyable episode and relatable. Now this is definitely the best episode of all three of these, all the third episodes of each season, because it's the most relatable. Because you have two girls, because this Henry has had has two girlfriends, Bianca and Chloe. Bianca was obviously his former girlfriend, which he broke up with, but then he wanted to get back together with her, but as soon as he was about to, Chloe comes back from Kids in the Woods, and now it's kind of complicated, and now Chloe wants to go to this party with Kid Danger, which is kind of hard for him because Henry is Kid Danger also, and he wants to take Bianca too, so how is he going to do that? So he has to balance something out, so he has to fake out an emergency. Like, it's so relatable in the way it's done, as well adding this superhero stuff to it, and then it just has some funny lines going it throughout with Jasper getting that hot meatball. And otherwise, this is the best episode of the third episodes of all Henry Danger. So that's my favorite. This is why it's number 1. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. My Instagram is Marvel6, and my TikTok name is Marvel1Fan. If you guys don't understand those names, head to my bad section so you can follow me on all social medias. I'm also on Letterboxd. It's the same as on Instagram, Marvel_6_. And also, please follow me on Letterboxd. I'm not just doing my 2 lists on there anymore. I'm actually doing more stuff on there. So if I can't get a ranking out, then it'll probably be on there. But I'll still post the ranking on here. If you don't have Letterboxd or a phone or any type of technology, if you just go to school. But anyways, bye guys.